I'm going to show you something really cool about the updated Toyota Yaris Cross. So if I go into the boot, look at this. Underneath here, I have stashed this thing. What is it? Watch this. This is good. It is the load cover. So I can now attach it on there and on there. Then these bits go up there and then the other one up there. How clever is that? All models get adaptive cruise as standard, and I can press this button here to increase the distance to the car in front. Look, there we go. And I can press that button there to turn on lane keeping assist. So the car will basically keep you that distance that you set from the car in front using its radar technology, and it'll auto steer to keep you in lane to make your life just much easier when you're commuting. You can get the Yaris Cross with an extra electric motor on the rear axle, so you get four-wheel drive, and none of its competitors offer that. The front seats have a quick recline lever, so you just pull up on that and watch. Whoop. Or you can use it to set your perfect position like this. Look, pull it up. There we go. It's exactly how I want it. Toyota has fitted this latest version of the Yaris Cross with a new, thicker windscreen, thicker side glass, extra insulation in the dash, and a new engine mount which reduces vibrations. All this is designed to make the car quieter than it was before. However, it's not all good. I'm going to tell you about 5 annoying things about the new Toyota Yaris Cross a little later in this video. Toyota has made no changes whatsoever to the exterior design of the Yaris Cross as part of this midlife update. I'm not too bothered because I actually quite like the way it looks. So depending on which version you go for, you have a slightly different treatment. GR versions have like a sporty look to them, slightly sportier grille. Premier versions have some chrome on them. This is the one up from the entry-level model, and considering that's the point that it's at, it actually looks pretty good. I don't think it's wanting for any kind of extra bits. So alloy wheels start at 16 and they rise to 18. These are 17s and they come as standard on this car, and they're all you really need. You also get stuff like black roof bars, which you don't have on the entry level. They're not black in colour, they're just not there. You don't get roof bars. You can get like two-tone body paint in like higher spec cars, but I don't think it really needs it. Round the back, it's all quite cool looking. I really like Toyota's designs lately. It's a good looking car, this. Now, prices. The Yaris Cross starts from £25,500, rising up to £35,000. This one here is just over £27,000. Good thing is you can save an average of about £2,500 off a Yaris Cross through CarWow. Want to sell your car quickly, easily, and for a fair price? Then head to CarWow to have over 4,000 trusted dealers ready to bid on it in an online auction. First, enter your car's registration to get an instant approximate valuation. Then, if you want to proceed, give us some more details and upload some photos, and we'll help you set a fair reserve price for your car. That's the minimum amount you'd be happy to sell it for. Once you've done that, we'll enter your car into an online auction. When the auction's over, we'll let you know the result, and the dealer with the winning bid will be in touch to arrange easy payment and free collection of your car. 93% of sellers surveyed said they got the price they expected or more through CarWow. The best bit is, it's completely free! I put a link in the description of this video and the pinned comment to take you directly to CarWow, where over 4,000 dealers are ready to bid on your car. Or you can just click on the pop-out banner that should be appearing in the top right-hand corner of the screen now. Alternatively, just Google "Help Me CarWow" and we will help you sell your car quickly, easily, and for a fair price. On with the video. Toyota has made a few changes to the interior of the Yaris Cross. The most noticeable change is this. All but the entry-level car gets a new updated infotainment screen, which is much better than before. Look, it's faster to respond, it's got nicer graphics, it's bigger, obviously it's got Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. You also have a slightly new look dial section here. All but the entry-level car and this level car have a full digital driver's display. This one has a digital driver's display here in the middle, and then just lights for your fuel gauge and your temperature gauge at the side, but it is slightly different than it was before. There's also some new trims like on the door cards and elsewhere about, but you wouldn't really notice that. Now, in terms of the car itself, so you've got squidgy material there and there, harder plastics here. It's nice that that's covered in this new fabric. This is quite thin and unyielding. So look at the center console. Oh, it moves about quite a bit. Yeah, it feels a bit flimsy, but the seating position is pretty nice. tends to be in Toyotas actually, they always get it spot on. But I have an issue with these seats. See this, it's raised up slightly. It feels like you're sat on something, you know, when you're like, you might have a jumper behind you or something like that. It feels like there's something, or your belt's not right. And whenever I'm driving along, that's just digging into like this part of my bottom, and I find that really, really annoying. Now, the top 3 spec cars actually have sport seats, and they may not have that issue. I don't think they do actually. Another issue I found is with the storage. Look at this, watch. I want to open it really quickly. What's that all about? Look, come on. It just shuts, look. Oh, other than that, I mean, is the glove box big enough to fit a big bottle in? Oh yes, it is. Oh, so too are the door bins, look. And they're quite big. One thing I'm very thankful of as well is this, look. Actual physical buttons for the climate control, not hidden in some menu somewhere. That is really good. Thanks for maintaining that. And an air of normality. Is it normal? It's not normal anymore actually. An air of sensibility in your car, Toyota. What else do you need to know? Oh yeah, look. 2 USB-Cs down here. Do we have a 12 volter? Do we? Anywhere? Anywhere? No, we've got, look, armrest. Yeah. Yeah, there it is. I knew it was in there somewhere. There, 12 volt socket as well. And that's pretty much all you need to know about the interior space here in the front. Oh, there is one thing. Well, I do quite like the interior of this. I do find that the interior of a Peugeot 2008 is way cooler. And if you want to see my full in-depth video review of that car, click on the pop-out banner appearing in the top right-hand corner of the screen, or use your mobile phone to follow the QR code, which is on screen now. Here in the back seats, headroom is pretty good. People over 6 foot will be fine. Where they may struggle is with knee room. I'm okay, but I've got short legs. If you've got long legs, you're going to find your knees touching the front seat back. But look, because the front seats are raised up, you can at least put your feet underneath them, so there's a decent amount of foot space. And this seat base is quite deep and it's raised quite a bit from the floor. So you do have lots of under thigh support. So it's reasonably comfy actually here in the back. Now if you come to carrying 3 people at once, this middle seat isn't the comfiest because it's a little bit raised, but the main issue is the fact the body's quite narrow, so it's going to be a squeeze with 3 adults in the back, but it is doable for short journeys. If you want to carry a child seat in the back, well, the ISOFIX anchor points are easiest to get to. The issue is that the rear doors don't open all that wide. Also, you're going to have to push the front seat forward slightly if you want to fit one of those bulky rear-facing seats. So it's not brilliant, but once again, you can live with it. What is good is this, look, you have some through loading and you have the cup holders there if you want to do it like that. You don't have an armrest, but this is actually quite good on a car in this category to have that through loading feature. Other features you got here, so where are the pockets on the seat backs? Have they forgot to fit them? Anyway, you do have some reasonable sized door bins which will carry a bottle of that size. And I like this, because it doesn't happen that often anymore. Rear windows that go all the way down. However, I think in terms of back seat space, a Renault Captur is more roomy. And if you want to see my full in-depth video review of that car, click on the pop-out banner up there or follow the QR code appearing on the screen now. The big capacity of the Yaris Cross is 350 litres, which is one of the smallest in this category. Now I've already shown you these dividers, so look, that 350 litres is when you're actually using up all of this space, but I want to keep these in place right now to just illustrate this. When you fold down the rear seats, your seat belts don't snag, and as long as your front passenger seat is a bit more forward than that, the seats will fall down easily. And then you have a continuous floor to slide things towards the front if you want to. Makes loading easy. Also, some features in here. Just some hooks to tie things down there and there. And there's a couple more here. And it looks like there's a blank switch there. What is that blank switch for? Actually, do you know what? That brings me on to 5 annoying things about the Toyota Yaris Cross. This design trim version of the Yaris Cross, which is one up from base, has a lot of blanked out switches. Look, blanked, 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 and let's look over here. Blankety, 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 blank. Actually, that takes me back to the 1980s. That's what cars used to have a lot of in the 1980s. Also, look at this. Here's another thing that feels cheap. Where's the light? Where's the light for the vanity mirror? Speaking of feeling cheap, have a listen to this. Sounds like the car is made out of the thinnest, cheapest metal known to man. That's the thing about Toyotas, they do feel cheap in places, but you do get a 10-year warranty, so maybe no need to worry. There are no USB charging ports in the back of the car at all. How are the children supposed to charge their devices? That means they're going to try and interact with their parents on a journey, which, I mean, who wants that? I hate the way you can't just open the fuel filler cap when the car is unlocked. Like with other Toyotas and Japanese cars that I've owned. You have to go and do it manually like this and then go back round. Now you might be thinking, well, you know, if you own the car, you're going to know to do that every time. Believe me, if you've got multiple cars, if it's like your second car or something like that, you will forget, because every other car just allows you to open the fuel filler cap if the car's unlocked. I always had that problem with my GR Yaris. Always forget, get out, go to fill up and have to go back in again. Can you spot a problem with the location of these cup holders? This one in particular, you ready? Ready? All right, watch this. That's, yeah, it's not great. The rear view mirror is located quite low down and you end up getting this reduced visibility through the center of the windscreen. Look at it compared to this part here. And then this part. Now it's pretty bad, but it's nowhere near as bad as on my GR Yaris, but still many of the cars don't have such an issue as that. The Yaris Cross's engine range has actually doubled in size, because now instead of one option there is two. Now they both have a 1.5 litre 3-cylinder petrol engine mated to electric motor. Now this particular car, as before, has 116 horsepower, but now you can get a version with a more powerful electric motor, which takes the total to 130 horsepower. That's the new thing. Whichever version you go for, they're front wheel drive, unless of course you spec the extra motor on the rear axle, though that doesn't give you any more power, it just gives you more drive, so it gives you 4-wheel drive. And regardless of which one you go for, you get a CVT automatic gearbox as standard. So which version of the Yaris Cross would I go for in terms of power output and trim level? Well, I've actually configured my ideal Yaris Cross using the CarWow configurator. If you want to see what the model is and the saving through CarWow, click on the pop-out banner up there or follow the QR code that should be on screen now using your mobile phone. That was a lovely butterfly. It liked the hybridiness of this, the eco-friendliness. There are a couple of advantages of the Yaris Cross being a hybrid. So the first is that when you're just cruising around town, sounds dodgy that, doesn't it? You can put it into EV mode. Oh, I haven't got enough charge in the battery for it to do that, but it's still doing what I want it to do, which is run in electricity mode only. So it's silent, apart from the sound that you get from all hybrids or electric cars when you're driving at low speeds to warn pedestrians. But it does mean that it's silent, there's no engine thrumming away, so it's all nice and quiet and relaxing. But unlike with some small cars with internal combustion engines but no hybrid system, and this is especially with those with an automatic gearbox, because you've got the assistance of the electric motor, when you put your foot down you instantly get a pickup from that electric motor. With cars that just have turbocharged engines mated to an automatic gearbox, you often get a terrible delay while the gearbox and the engine work together and you have to wait for the turbo to boost up. So this is really good for town driving, this hybrid system. Now we come to the turning circle, which isn't quite so good on this car compared to some of its key competitors. Still relatively tight at 11.2 meters, but a Skoda Kamiq is better. It's like 10.1 meters. I can just about make this round because I've got good visibility. I can tell how close I'm to the cars that I'm just trying to brush past, so I shouldn't hit them. Even though I have no front parking sensors nor any surround view cameras, because of the spec of this car's quite like low to middling. But that was actually really easy to do, and also the view out the side mirrors is good and the view out the back window is good. You do have a bit of a blind spot though from that big fat rear pillar, and there's a bit of a blind spot there, but overall pretty good. Tell you what also is pretty good, the suspension around town. It deals with bumps quite well, but as you go faster and you drive over uneven surfaces, it does get a bit fidgety, so it's not the most settled. In terms of the brakes, so hybrids can sometimes have grabby brakes, because what's happening is when you're braking, the first part you're braking is actual regen braking, so you're using the motor in reverse like a generator. Was that a dynamo? I don't know. Anyway, it's using the electric motor to slow you down, and it's basically putting energy back into the battery, and that can make the brakes feel a bit unnatural, a bit grabby, but these are smooth. You see, Toyota has had years and years and years and years of experience of building hybrids, and they've got it down to a fine art now. Now you can put the car into a B mode, which is what I've got it in, so you have a bit more regen braking when you lift off the accelerator without touching the brake, but you don't have full one pedal driving. So I'm holding the car on the brake now. Look, I lift off the brake and it moves forward. I wish it had full one pedal driving, that would be better. Let's just see if I can do it. No, hybrid battery is still too low for EV mode. Darn it. And that transition there when the engine kicked in, It's really smooth. You do notice it though because it's a 3-cylinder and they're a little bit thrummy, but a lot of cars in this category have 3-cylinder engines. All in all, round town, this is very, 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 very good. Look, I'm in EV mode now. This is the reason why you get such good economy out of these hybrids. The ability to do this. You are using all that energy you've recouped through braking and slowing down and using it to drive you at lower speeds. I'm going to come out of B mode, I'm going to D. Yeah, now it really just rolls in B mode. Actually, the slowing in B mode is more like just normal engine braking. D is just like you're rolling. Rolling, 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 rolling. Basically done this whole town section using the electric motor only. And with speed limits in villages and towns just like 20 mile an hour everywhere now, hybrids are making more and more sense. Oh, look how fast can I go on EV power? Oh, 35, 36. I'm going to build it up slowly. We are going downhill, which is helping. As soon as there's an incline, it's going to bring in that petrol engine. But come on, come on. Oh no, look, the engine just kicked in. And I didn't notice it at all now. I'm going quicker. Can't get my elbows comfy. Every thing you touch is pretty hard. The armrest has a bit of padding on it, but it's still very hard. So Toyota. Hard trim and tinny thin metal, but usually rock solid reliability. Right, we're coming up to a faster bit of road, a 70 mile an hour limit, so I'm going to slow down to 40, floor the throttle and see what the pickup is like. You know, like say if you're trying to filter and join a motorway. So we'll see if this car has enough oomph. So here we go, I'm around 40. I'm in normal mode, go. It was hard to distinguish when the actual pickup was. It just slowly accrued speed. It wasn't like, oh, right, we're going now. No noticeable delay, but no noticeable hardcore pickup either. I guess that's just the nature of the power output of this engine. But it got up to speed quick enough. I wonder if it's better if I put it into power mode. No, these speeds, it just feels the blooming same. Now, when you are driving at higher speeds, in terms of the noise insulation, it's maybe a bit quieter than it was before. I'm not noticing the road noise quite as much as I did in the pre-facelift car. There is still a bit of wind noise around there, but it's not terrible. Quite happily do a long journey in this, and I'm not really having to raise my voice to talk to you either at 70 miles an hour, which is good. I tell you what's also good, the economy. So this car's supposed to do around 63 miles to the gallon. This one has averaged almost 57 mpg. I'll take that. Okay, I am starting to notice a bit of wind flutter around here, and I can hear a little bit of road noise, but I think it's about average for this class of car. I think the sound insulation upgrades to this version has helped slightly. What I'm going to do now is go into power mode. No, not EV. Oh, I can have EV now. Look, EV mode. I don't know why it has EV mode. It still brings in the engine with the slightest touch of the throttle. Why even bother? Right, I'm going to go into power mode anyway, see what this car handles like. Now, when you thrash it, you can hear that CVT gearbox causing the engine to like hold its revs and go, ah! And being a 3-cylinder, it's quite thrummy, but it's not too bad. Oh, that went round there really well, actually, for a relatively high riding car. I say relatively, you know, it's not massive. It's not a G-Wagon. It's definitely taller than a normal Yaris. The steering's actually reasonably responsive and precise, and it grips well. I mean, people who buy these cars aren't going to be thrashing them about, really, but it can easily keep up with other traffic. It corners really well. I'm actually surprised. I like this car, you know. It's remarkable how light it feels in terms of the handling compared to all like the electric cars I've driven recently. They're just too heavy. I mean, this is a hybrid, so it does have some extra weight on board, but it still feels light and agile. This version of the Toyota Yaris Cross should do 0 to 60 in 11.2 seconds. I'm going to find out for myself with specialist timing gear in power mode. Brake boost it, doesn't like that. Smooth. 9.59, 9.6. I think they underestimated it. Okay, I'm just going to run the other way to get an average. Brake boost. Really puts its power down well. Well, what power it does have. Okay, 10.29. That's because it's slightly downhill one way, slightly uphill the other, which means that the average is on the screen now. Couldn't do the maths in my tiny little brain. Couldn't. Still good though, right? So then, what's my final verdict on the Toyota Yaris Cross? Should you avoid it, consider it, shortlist it, or just go right ahead and buy it? Well, I reckon you should shortlist it. It's a good all-round and very economical small family SUV. I hope you all enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a like. Let me know what you think of my verdict in the comments below. Click on the windows to watch some more videos and on the CarWow logo to change your car the easy way. Sell your current car through CarWow and buy your next one through us as well at a fair price. Thanks for watching.